Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Hey, KJ. Hey, Rotary Dial. Rainy April. I don't know how to say that one. Ellis. Put gag on me because I have too many options. Me too. I have too many opinions. Hey, insightful one. Tina Reddington. Hey, Breaking Crime with Big E.
Hello, that difficult research.
Top of the morning to you, pal.
Good day, mate.
Uh-huh. Good
KJ,
huh?
KJ, they threw this hearing together yesterday,
Yeah,
and
there's a
we
lot.
we have absolutely no clue what it's going to be about or anything. It could only last 3 minutes for all we know.
That's
It
about right,
was
huh?
it was thrown together. I mean, it posed in the portal at like 3 o'clock, 2:30 or 3 o'clock, out of nowhere.
And then we have one tomorrow.
At two tomorrow.
Okay, that's we have court
Well,
tomorrow, so I'm gonna schedule that. I already have the thumbnail ready. We get so confused with the times because Eric's Eastern, I'm Central, Jen and Idaho are Mountain. I can't even include Pacific. I'm like, y'all just gotta figure it out.
I get them confused, so don't
It
sweat it.
sucks. Like
I
I'm good in other stuff. I excel in other things. That is not my thing or math. I'm like, one, two, three, four. So I'm gonna I am gonna go ahead and get the screens and stuff ready because I am not prepared like that. That's how I roll. So I like you guys to be on the journey with me. Does that work?
we get to see all phases of it.
Exactly. It's difficult from the there is no half-assing around here. I think that's my motto. We don't half-ass around here. We don't half-ass.
Hi,
Hey,
everybody.
Karen and Donna. Loin fire. The loin fire.
Loin for
Yeah. So I told Eric last night that I've ran across some I have some old podcasts from Mommy Doomsday or whatever, and just going back and revisiting them has just been crazy. I'm just like, oh yeah. You just always get to go back and look through a different lens, which you know now.
right.
Hello, Mark A. See where I'm from? In Louisiana, we say David and not David. But I'll say hi, Mark David, and I'll say hi, Mark David. Hello, Tracy from Utah. How are
No,
you?
we don't know what it's gonna be about, y'all. I mean, I was telling somebody else yesterday or last night. Um, I don't even, we've got the two motion hearings tomorrow, and then the motion hearing on the 23rd.
Yeah.
But
So
they're
we have
going
a
to,
whole weekend pack, kind of a weekend. They're making
yeah,
us wait a whole weekend.
yeah. But I just can't wrap my mind around why
What
would
it
you put a
is.
status conference in front of those three? Why
Right.
not
And
have a
why
status conference after?
it doesn't like I was watching Gigi and Fruit Loop last night and she just how people pick up patterns, algorithms, things
Yeah,
like that.
absolutely. Yeah.
And I mean, you'd asked me a couple weeks ago, you were like, is she competent? And I was like, I'm just gonna say yeah. I think it was you that asked me. Yeah. And I mean, I'm just trying to be positive. Like, and this has nothing even to do with her
That's
competency, but
all.
I'm just saying
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
I just feel weird. I don't know. They say trust
to,
your gut feeling, and I
let
don't
me
even know how that works. I'm
let
sorry.
me check real quick because I don't even think Archibald's name is on the list for it.
Okay. You do that, and I'm gonna go fetch the right window that I need. I can't. Thank you, Amy Bickle. But it's so huge, is I can't see my screen, and if I put it on my little stand where my keyboard is, then it goes wobble, 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 wobble. Makes a lot of noise, I noticed. So I was like, "Oh, I can't do that anymore because I'm a wiggle worm."
Yeah. See, the only ones who got the email for today's hearing is Lindsay Blake, Rob Wood, Rachel Smith, and John Pryor. So this has nothing to do with Lori. Has nothing to do
Tell
with it.
Lori I love her. I'm just
Hello,
kidding.
Pops in the Moon Mafia. How the heck are you?
Moo. Move over. I'm so corny today, so just don't mind me.
And it was
Or just laugh
Gigi
with
and
me.
I. Gigi and I. We was on the phone for an
Conspiracy
hour,
theories.
an hour and a half, just
Oh
trying
no.
to make
Hold up.
sense.
I'm gonna do that. Go ahead. It was
Trying to
echoing.
make trying to make sense of all the stuff that dropped in Chad's portal yesterday. Because wow, you talk about a mess.
I don't want to talk about what goes in Chad's portal. Okay.
Well,
I said that last night and you didn't. I don't think you caught it. And I was like, oh, come on. That's so good. It's a good one.
yeah,
Holy
she's
cannoli.
she's very manipulative. I mean, that's how she's lived her whole life.
She knows no other way. She
All
thinks
right.
she's normal. Right? Right.
Yeah.
She thinks she's right. Wow. It's
And we
very
all
upsetting.
know she's wrong.
I'm sorry. I keep talking over.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
That is one frustrating thing about the Zooming era. It's a blessing and a curse. It at least allows us to have a community, and we because of coronavirus, we have been given the I guess you would say luxury, or I don't know, that's not the right word. Um, Opportunity or whatever to be able to watch the Zoom hearings. I hope they don't
Right.
go away, but I'm sure they will.
Well,
I
even
wanna
if they do, we've discussed this. And even if they do, you know that EIN and every media network in the
Right.
country are getting
They throwing
requests.
their bids in,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
KJ
Okay.
said something. Yeah. Bubba loves that portal.
Yeah. Mhm. Here you go, Chatty. Chatty Daddy. You want your cornbread? That's what I always say. I saw a meme a long time ago, and it was a raccoon actually, and it said, "You want your cornbread?" I was like,
Uh-huh.
"Perfect." So,
Yeah, I did. I didn't watch it, but I did see the thumbnail. Carrie Ann, or no, who was that? Somebody asked about Scott Reich.
yeah, I watch everybody.
Rainy April. Yeah, I did see the thumbnail, but I didn't watch the clip.
All right, I'm
And I,
watching I'm
I,
watching the I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the screen, right? I can yeah, let me go ahead and
that's
put
fine.
and
That's
share
fine.
my screen the with the courtroom.
Right.
Okay, go ahead. I'm just asking kinda. I'm like, "Is it
And
okay?"
it's your show, girl.
I know, but I need somebody to stop me from being reckless or, clicking the wrong button. I like Jen. Jen, she's don't give her a gun, okay? Because she's trigger happy. She's stupid. She's all out. I'm like, oh, okay, bye. It cracks me up. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Um,
Actually, I'm gonna I'm gonna do a shameless plug real quick while you're done that, and let people in the chat know that. And I don't self promote at all, but where we're in such a law where it's just basically documents. I can't put every document that comes out up on my YouTube channel. So if anybody in the chat wants to
Or we can
follow
share
me,
it on the Patreon. Or, well, no. I do eventually want to do that somehow, some way. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Thinking out loud.
well, just if anybody wants to follow me on Twitter, um, it's Breaking Crime with Big E, and my handle is the docket. And there was I put documents out for a bunch of cases,
Yep.
and it's just so much easier to put them out on Twitter than it is to
I
have
don't
to.
know how. I hate that's the only reason I got a Twitter was because of Jay Lum. Shout out to Jay Lum. How you doing, buddy? But I mean, because it just you can only do so many at a time. And I'm like, what? It's not like Facebook, you know? And I was just like, oh, okay. So I went and got a Twitter handle at
Yeah.
Presha K, I think it is. I rarely go in there. When I do, I just kind of, since you showed me how to retweet and to allow retweets, I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm a twit in Twitter. So it's just not my thing.
Well, I mean, it's
It's kind of
there's
cool.
people
Fast.
that like it and people that
Mhm.
don't.
Different strokes for different folks. I get it.
Right. I'm that way about Facebook.
Hey,
I'm not
Laverne.
I'm not a Facebook.
I used to be, and then this happened, and I couldn't even like open. Like when I go to open my Facebook now, I see nothing but the case. Which I mean, it's because I pinned some of it, a long time ago, and then just never went back and changed it. I did. I did have another Facebook whatever page or whatever, and it's from whenever I used to sell my crafts and stuff. And
Mhm.
I changed the name from Rustic Innovations to Find the Kids or whatever, and then it went to Difficult Research, and so it's just sitting there like,
Yeah.
hey, look, don't forget about me.
Well, I started a Facebook group too for
Oh,
the
you did?
for this case. Yeah. Um, but
Cool.
there just
I'll pick
wasn't
up your service.
wasn't really anybody coming to it, so I just kind of shut it down.
Well, well, they'll never go if just like nobody will ever go to my page if I never promote it or make it available. So it's just like the Patreon opened, and I've not been back since, and I feel bad. I don't know what to do. I'm just like, um, and so that's
Well,
why I was thinking maybe put the docs there, and that way, if anybody here wants to view documents, then they can help the family by, if you're going to spend your hard earned money somewhere. I get supporting your favorite creators because I do it. I've done it. Won't ever stop. That's to me. It's just like I'm investing in them because they have told our story, the kids' story, the
right,
victim stories, and I mean, I'm gonna cry, but I mean, I just hold high respect for them. But it takes money to make money. It takes things to make things. It takes things to make the world go round, and that's
right.
just it is what it is. A spade is a spade.
Well,
So
and that's the thing is we have to get content to put in the Patreon.
right. So I think that would be a good source for that kind of stuff.
Right,
The
absolutely.
documents, the all the pictures. I mean, y'all, there's so much. And so then you have to go and you have to put watermarks on it, which is I hate watermarks. I hate
I
watermarks.
do too.
I'll sit there and mess with my settings and edit a picture until until it goes away.
Oh, I did it to Keegan Klein's document last night.
Ah,
Somebody, I don't know who the cat is that watermarked it. Somebody sent it to me. It's 194 pages. He's the
no,
guy
wow.
that he's the guy. You know what I'm talking about?
The one you said, the audio files or whatever. I don't know.
No, he's the
Hi, Terry.
um, the guy that the Indiana investigators think that he may have had something to do with the two girls from Delphi that got killed.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. April
Yeah.
Passy. Yay. I didn't get to show it to you last time. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just,
No, it's no big deal.
but
It was I stopped reading at like page 136, I think it was,
holy cannoli.
because it got just out of control, man. And
See how pretty? There were some hankies that April had made. And they say love always wins. Isn't that beautiful?
right there you go, AJ. That's how she stays positive, right there.
That's exactly it. Whenever you see that message, it you're like, oh my gosh, yay! And oh, hold on, I got chills all over up in my on my face and stuff right now. Hold on. That's how you stay positive, because that's where you see them. That's where their spirit lives on. That's how we keep them alive. When we say their name for the last time, that's when their spirit dies.
All right.
That's my opinion. You know, that's my take
No, I mean
on it. I've
that's
learned that through this Newfoundland.
hello, Newfoundland. Nita.
It sounds
It's
like that sounds made up. Newfoundland. It sounds like something I'd say whenever I
probably
was around my house.
probably Newfoundland. Is it Nita Bhakti? Is that right, Nita?
I bet you have heard Anita jokes your whole entire life. Kind of like Idaho. Sorry. I love Idaho. Idahoans. I love it. But I mean, come on. I was like, Lori, she the hoe. She's the hoe. I was angry. I'm angry. I get angry sometimes. Oh, thank you, April. Oh, thank you, Megan.
So yesterday, bright and early in the morning, as I'm sure most did, I got 60 Vine messages for Chad's trial dates. Okay,
Mm,
and this morning I got 68 more. So I don't know what the heck is going on with Vine. I I really don't. I don't know why. And that's like the fifth time that they've sent them since back after the hearing that they set the actual trial date. I mean, I don't know why they keep sending them over and over and over.
well,
I mean,
maybe
it's
they're
not.
trying to
It's
beat
not
it in. I don't know. Oh, yeah.
thank you, little branch.
Yeah, little brands. That's sweet. Oh, you guys, y'all are awesome. I swear. God, there's 169 people in here. Hello. Go hit the like and subscribe button. Let's build
Oh
this
yeah,
platform up so we can go
yeah.
further. Not here for money, not here for clout. We're here to advocate. That's what we're doing. That's where we're going. And
Tickle that.
you're welcome to come and ride with us. It's bumpy and there's no seat belts. So pucker up, buttercup. Anyways, so I screwed up on the time and everything. I love you too, Megan. Love you too, Janine.
Oh,
Um,
Jen told me to tell you she loves you too. She's on a road trip to
oh
somewhere
yeah,
right
yeah. Cool. I forgot. I knew it and I didn't. That makes sense.
now.
So Jason, like, I've had this old computer, right? And y'all know me with the computer illiteracy. Well, it's one I had from a long time ago. And I mean, I've been going through the photos, the videos, and everything, and I'm just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's like Christmas. And I mean, just all these videos of JJ when he was a baby and Uncle Charles. And I'm still looking for the ones where I slept under the same roof with the Coxes for like a whole weekend, like a long weekend. That freaks me out now. I'm like,
And that kind of, that kind of, I know we've talked about it before, but that sheds a light on just how really, really good at being manipulative
Covert,
he
yes.
was. I
Covert.
mean,
And I mean, it's learned somewhere. Right? I mean, I know not everybody learns it, but I really don't know how that works. I don't know. I don't think narcissism runs in the family. I don't think that's a thing. Maybe it does. Anyways, because that's just a disorder. I don't even know. Let me just shut up because I'm speaking ignorantly right now. No, I don't want to be ignorant. It just doesn't seem like. I think everybody has narcissism in them. Everybody has selfish tendencies and stuff like that. But then there are those that I kind of. This is how I kind of hash it out in my brain. You're either here or there. You're in or you're out. You're up or you're down. Very black and white thinking, I know. And which is weird. Maybe, I don't know. I'm doing a lot of self-discovery and soul searching lately, but anyways, the way I see it is the world is just basically dark and light, black and white. That's that black and white thinking, right? Not the world is black and white. I mean, the black and white thinking. And hurt people. And I think that's the vicious cycle. It's like a generational, I don't know. I really don't know how to explain that. So pardon me for explaining it, but it's evil and good, light and dark, narcissist, empath. That's how I see it. You're either the one being hurt or you're the one hurting people. I don't know. Because I mean, I've hurt people before. Many, a lot. I'm sure I'm not done, but it's not intentional. Used to I did it because I didn't want to be hurt first,
But you didn't wipe out an entire family. There's a huge difference.
No. Right. That's what I'm saying. Just like everything else in this case, there are layers. And there is the umbrella and Ella.
Yeah.
And just like with the mental health issues, that's why I want to advocate and start the nonprofit for mental health advocacy, especially with JJ's biological father is my brother, right? Well, there's a background there, and so there are just some ways that law enforcement react to somebody who is having a break, who is not being a criminal on purpose. They're just, I don't really know how to word that yet, y'all. I'm still working on putting it in a pretty little box, and then you open it up and it's gonna be like, all this ugly shit's just gonna come out, slap you in the face, and then you're like, ooh, it's atrocious. You're gonna close the box back and send it back. But no, I'm still trying to put everything together so that I can speak fluently on it. I really do. I think I'm getting better at it. Starting to make full sentences again and trying to be mindful that I need to keep people in the loop of what I'm thinking and talking about at the same time. So, but with the mental health issue, I mean, look at Lori. And how the police, that's what's on TV right now, is, Uncle Charles. And, well, he just got shot there, but it came on by itself. I was like, oh, okay, I guess we need to look at it again. And so it's was really, and like the stigmas with the woman pretty much, I've seen this with my own eyes. I know that there are chicks that do this because I've witnessed it and I was like, holy shit. That is some dark stuff right there. That's evil. But like hitting themselves and then calling the cops and then saying, he did it. And they just automatically side with the woman. And so I hate seeing that done here with my Uncle Charles. You know, here,
Yeah.
everybody, put your blinders on and don't look at her lady curves or his men stuff, whatever.
Can I ask you something real quick?
You just did. Now go ahead.
You're a Weisenheimer today, huh?
Yeah.
But seriously, do you think that that's healthy to watch that happening over again?
What, this?
Yeah.
It's just on. It just came on by itself. Like it automatically rolls over. I didn't put it on that.
I don't
It's just
understand.
on. I can do this. Look, I'm not watching it, but it was just on.
No, I was
It
just.
auto plays. No, I don't watch things over and over again. I do in this case. Yes, I am not doing this the healthy way, but it's my way. I don't know of any other way to cope. I mean, I didn't just lose them. I also lost my dad and then other things, There's a lot going on back here. So I just know that I'm mainly it's like my gut will not allow me to come up. It does every now and then. Like, when I'm tired, I sleep. When I'm going 90 to nothing, because that's just who I am and that's who I've been all my life, then I go. I do. I read. Researching. I just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah, you do. You daggum sure research your butt off.
I don't stop. I am immersed in it. And yes, that's not healthy, probably, especially from an outside perspective. You're probably like, oh, God. I get it. I do the same to myself. I'm like, okay, you need to back away. But I don't get tired of it. I'm telling you, it's my life's mission now. I just feel like I'm doing all this work right now. I can't really show it to anybody. It's not there yet. But it will
But
one
it
day
will.
when somebody says, oh, well, how do, how, eh, with the religious part of it, how I do, from my perspective, all the way around, I'll be able to help people and show them my path because it's been a tough one. I'm not saying it's the toughest, but it's been a tough one. But it's been worth every painful step. I love, in my mind, like this is my justice. This is what justice looks like to me. Is finding all the things that failed them, all of them, and I've got to put it out there one day, eventually, whenever the time presents itself, and and then it'll just run. If not, I'll be able to send it into the direction where it will go into some good hands where it will be seen after,
Right.
There's so many things. There's so many things. And I mean, all the way back, not just from their murders, not just from Lori, um, all the way back. Because I do have empathy for I do feel empathy for Chad and Lori. And that's crazy, right? But then I also I'm pissed off too. I'm angry, but I don't hold it. It'll come and go. But I even feel like if Uncle Charles and JJ and Tyler, if they showed up right now, I just see I see JJ just running back up to her and saying, "Hey, Mama," like I don't know why that even crossed my mind. I was just like, I think that makes me sound crazy,
No,
but I don't know. I've
not
just
at all.
followed my heart. I follow my gut, especially in this. I have followed my instinct since day one, ground zero, and I have not. I mean, my life will never reflect or be even a smidgen of what it used to be. It will never look like that again. I don't even remember what life was like before this. Sometimes I get glimpses, I remember like going through these photos and stuff and seeing my babies and I'm just like, oh my God, crying, because they're so sweet and they grow up so fast. And that's
Okay, you just hit the nail on the head, girl, because I can't tell you how many times I've told her and talking. I don't know how she
um
gives these
I'm not
people,
I'm not fully there though.
but
I
I'll never.
I can feel empathy because that's who I am. We get pissed off at them because we want to see them exhibit human like normal reactions like we do, right?
Right, right,
That's the empath. That is the empath. Those that can actually put themselves in other people's shoes, and really feel for that person. And so what we're doing is we're projecting what we want to see out of them, and we're not getting it. We're not getting the reaction we want
no,
this entire time. And so whenever they project back that, you know, that evil shit, we're just like, holy hell, what the hell is this? And, that's why we're mad. And so the cycle continues. And I don't want to be a part of that because that I think that hate and anger and all that would eat me like cancer versus me diving in and learning shit. you know, I mean,
no,
maybe they're unhealthy, but at least I feel like my way is more constructive than the alternative, which is being angry and going and hurting other people and carrying it on. I don't know. I'm weird. I'm different.
no,
Everybody has their different perspectives and different backgrounds and different insight, and that's important. That's what makes the world balanced. I love reflecting off you guys. It's needed, um, and it's appreciated big time. It it like makes me check myself, you know,
right.
um, and that way I can reflect. Reflection is, oh my God, I didn't realize how much I needed to reflect. I used to never want to be alone. And not that I want to be alone all the time, but there are times when I just want to be by myself with my own thoughts. And that way I can kind of reflect. That's whenever I really get to thinking, when I'm thinking deep. So,
And that's
anyways,
okay. I mean,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, it is what it is. As soon as I get there, my instincts will let off and I'll be like, oh, okay, we're here. We're here. And so whatever I do at that point is whatever I'll do at that point. I have no idea. I'm the no plan. Drives people crazy,
oh,
especially my mom and my daughter, my son, Capricorns, Taurus. Anyways, they're always like, time. And I'm like, I don't know what time it is. Is it day or night? I've always been like that. So it's not like anything brand new. Let me refresh this. It's 20 minutes till.
yeah, I'm making a banner.
Oh, let your freak flag fly. But, you know, be nice.
I am. I'm just putting when today starts and when tomorrow's, because I see people, quite a few people asking.
Oh, okay. I don't care. Language of horses, right? I don't really care much for the human species myself. I don't feel very peopley all the time. This is about as close to peopling I do, and this is a lot. This is extra for me. And it's been like pulling teeth to get me just to hear.
Right.
Like, I'm so proud of myself because y'all know, those of you who are here day in and day out, every time, y'all are my ride or dies, God's army. Um, y'all have heard me say that, like, to record a video of myself talking to myself and then like a pre-recorded video to release on YouTube, like creators do it, I'm not a creator. I'm just coping. I'm just here. And this is somewhere where I found a place to just kind of be able to have a voice. And anyways, and so I forgot what I was saying. Shit, this happens a lot. Not as much. Where was I going? Oh, about people. That's the part I do hate. Not hate, but it's also age. A little bit of age. A couple months till my birthday. So there's that. Everybody's going. How many people in here are going to Comic-Con? Y'all know what I mean. Crime Con. Put a 1 in the chat if you're going to Crime Con. I'm not. I want to. Okay, cool. Thank you, Eric. Oh, I told Jason earlier, I was like, dude, I need to assign, I have 2 extra roles in, what is it, StreamYard? And if KJ would do it, that'd be great to fill one of those slots. Wink, wink. And that way, and then I was like, Jason, you could just produce, I'll be like, all right, roll that beautiful bean footage. And then video would appear and everything's just like, yeah, right. He just kind of looked at me like, I do everything else, woman. That's what he was saying.
It's in Vegas this year, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Jason had ran across some Garth Brooks, whatever, and tickets. And so it's April, I want to say April 28th or something. I don't know, but it's like the same time as oh my God. Y'all know what I mean. Crime Con. It would be cool to meet a lot of people. Bush's baked beans. Yeah. Now it's in Vegas, baby. I could get married too, though. It could be like a double whammy.
Ding, ding, ding. Winner, chicken dinner.
Mm-hmm. Brown chicken, brown cow. Oh, yeah. I think so too, Carrie. And thank you for that. That kid, he was so, and I mean, some people are like, as far as his autism and stuff like that, and especially in the beginning, they would, now I say dumb them down. I don't really know what other word they wouldn't purposely do it. They were like, oh my God, he can talk and he can walk. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, what do y'all think? And who's telling you this shit? I mean, he was not that challenged, I mean, he reminds me of myself. And so maybe I just have a bias over that because I think it's normal.
Well, I mean, you can see in the neighbor's video. I mean, he's active. I mean, fully functional, active, playing and everything. So
I was an only child till I was 8, and so I was like, I played outside all the time. And then when Todd came, I was like, oh my God, a baby doll, a live baby doll, just for me. Oh my God. And I mean, I entertained him all the time. Like, I love my brother. He's my baby brother. Meep. I am.
Get him on here sometime.
We will one day when he's ready. Yeah.
Right.
To answer Meep's question, I'm Presha, and my mom is Kay Woodcock. My dad is Larry Woodcock. They're the Woodcocks. And my brother is JJ's biological father. Our Uncle Charles and Lori adopted JJ. So it was within the family, right? And so technically, Charles is my uncle. JJ would be my step cousin. I mean my cousin if we did the technical thing. So he went from being my only nephew to being a cousin, and then Tylee would be my step cousin. Although I don't look at her like that, you know. She's the same age as my kids, so it's I know the dynamics screw with everybody, but it's not like hillbilly, okay? It's not like that. Um, yeah, there's none of that kind of stuff. But so it's kind of like the last conversation that my uncle Charles had with me was actually, um, I paid him a compliment because I saw just how good and calm and just gentle and patient Charles was with JJ. JJ was having a meltdown, and this was March of 2019. That's where the bus video came from. That's my video. I took that video, and that was the last time I saw my nephew. But it was also the same week that my mom was helping Uncle Charles move to Houston. Yes, to Houston. Or yeah, from Phoenix to Houston. And then Lori was on the 58-day hiatus. So, I mean, they were moving on. They had to, even though it was killing him. But the last conversation I had with my uncle, I was like, oh, I admire you so much for just how good you're being with JJ. That just filled my heart. And he just, of course, like I am, and like a lot of us are, we don't accept compliments very well. So he just looked at me and he was like, he leaned back and he said, Presha, how do we get to Todd? And I put my head down and I was like, I don't know, Uncle Charles. I really don't know. And Todd's my brother. Todd is JJ's biological father. And anyways, and so I did wait. Whenever we found out that Uncle Charles was murdered, Mom and Larry like shot straight to Arizona. I was like, hurry up before the bitch burns him. And I meant like cremate. And she did. And then I'm like, I had to tell Mom, I'm like, you might want to check that. That could be kitty litter for all we know. You never know. With the way they say the funeral director acted with Cole and Zach, my cousins. I don't know. It's a little suspicious.
I have been meaning to ask you about them because they, in my opinion, I think they're the forgotten ones in this whole thing.
They are, but they're not. They don't put themselves in here.
Well, right, but
everybody is. Yeah, I know. I see it, and I speak for them, but I don't speak for them. Like I do want people to know that there are so many more. There's more of us.
Right.
And this was hell. This was hell for us to not, for me, like, it's like, it was just not even a freaking, it was not a question. Mom and Larry were the spokespersons, if you will, had, with JJ being adopted and yada, 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 yada. And all the 1,500 people, 144,000 people, in the atmosphere, you just don't know who's who in the zoo. And so it takes the focus off of finding the kids, getting answers.
I didn't even know Charles's son was in the audience that day in Rexburg at one of the hearings until you told me. I had no clue.
Yeah, he sat right there. Yeah, Cole
Yeah.
is the oldest, is Uncle Charles's oldest. And Zach is his youngest. I mean, as far as biological, you know what I mean? But Yeah, Cole and Cole, which his real name, Nicholas is his, Cole is short, which is weird because whenever Nick Schneider came out, and I was like, is it Nick or Ned? Nick, Ned, Nick, Ned, 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 Ned or Nick? Which one is it? Damn it. And then you got to add Garrett in there, and then Eplos, and then I saw it spelled EBLOS, and I'm like, what the hell? I've been looking at the wrong things again. I've searched so much shit I don't need to know. I'm like, what? How did I end up here? So, anyways, but there's so many Zachs. I have a Zach. Uncle Charles has a Zach, and then there's Zach Cox. So it's like, oh, okay, Zach Attack.
Yeah, that's actually how I had it at first. I thought
He went by Steve.
Zach was Charles' son.
He looks just like him too.
I was so confused.
Look, I have a picture right here. Oh, but it's not shared anywhere else. So if I find it outside, I know. But
click, 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 click.
Yeah, right. Just thinking. But these are that's Zach and Cole when they were younger. And then my little JJ. And Tyler's not in this one either. Now that I'm she's in that one. And that one. And that one. She's everywhere here. They're all everywhere. I mean, they're my reminders. They're my reminders. They are the reason.
There you go, KK.
Whoa.
You got the hook up.
Can I handle the canines too? Can I let them out? I'm joking. Canine handler. Haha. Anyways, thank you. That's really cool. In Nevada?
Where CrimeCon is.
Wow. That's really cool.
Don't offer that to me because I'll be there in a hot second.
I have a Southwest brown trip sitting in the whale. Sitting on the tap. It's waiting. Because I forget. Oh, I was supposed to go back after me and Mom went to Rexburg. That was when they were trying to get rid of Rob Wood. That's when I went. The only time I've gone, however you say that. And so we were supposed to go back for something. Oh, it was right before all the murder charges. Right as that was, how everything shifted then? That's exactly what this kind of feels like. Right?
Yeah.
I just realized that. It was so crazy at that time. There was so much crap going on. Not just murder charges and all that, and their birthdays, and Tammy's birthday, and JJ's birthday, and I'm not forgetting Tylee, but it was just that time. It was May, June. Whew. And I remember just whenever I kind of knew only 30 minutes before everybody else did. And I cried, and it was a soul cry because nobody freaking wins. Nobody wins. I don't get pleasure out of this. I mean, I want justice. I want justice. Anybody who does something, they have to be accountable for it. And when they go along for this many years, not ever being held accountable for their actions, getting to live in the freaking fantasy world and make up characters and rate people's light. Hey, Mom. Hi, Mom. Has anyone ever seen Chad's parents? What do they look like? Oh, I have some pictures of Jack and Sheila.
That's what I was going to tell her. I have pictures of them from way back in the day. Hi, Mama Kay. Glad you can make it.
Mother. Okay, sorry. Mom, I'm being really silly today. Really corny. Yeah.
Somebody was talking about what Lori looks like today, and I don't remember who it was now because
I wonder if her being is translated.
I would say Lori looks like she fell from the top of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down, and then climbed back up and fell back down it again.
She was all about that tree of life. She was about that tree life. Ah, all right. I'm sorry. Anyways, in a similar way that Garth looks like Chad, yeah. I mean, Chad resembles both his parents, I think, in a very equal way. You know. um It's and I always wonder about Samantha, like Tammy's sister. I worry about her. I think about them all the time. I don't know them. I never met them, but I think about them, and I'm like, what are they thinking from their perspective? Like, oh, I can't imagine that perspective either, because it's like, and just like from, I'm gonna say it, from the Cox perspective, but there's those that are beyond the inner core horror, the inner core horror. And like, I want to say, reading about, I forget where I read this at, but the Uncle Jason, I think it was in the Melanie Boudreau papers, custody, like whenever Stacy passed away.
Don't get me started on her right now.
Well, then, shh. I didn't say anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
Maricopa County DA got a cussing from me, but anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you know what? 2 years has lapsed. Where did I learn that from? KJ's channel. Yeah, I was like, oh my God, is it too late? Is it too late to make changes with them? I mean, this is crazy. This is the craziest situation you can ever imagine yourself being a part of. It shakes so many of you from around the world. So it really shakes here, and it sucks. And so you've got all this other stuff going on, and you're just plus 2 hurricanes, plus just life, all these things, and you don't even have time to look up or know if you want to or how you feel, because you're numb. You're freaking numb. Thank you, KJ. If you don't know how to feel or what you're feeling, and by the time you figure it out, you're like, oh, I was in a depression, or you're so far in that you're like, oh crap, I'm in a depression now. But
and you don't even realize it. Exactly.
Right. You just have to kind of catch your snap and catch a grip, like get a grip, like my mom used to say. I used to hate that. I'm like, oh my God. She was like, no, I know she's listening to it. I'm glad she can't really answer. No, she's in chat. No, but she'd always say, get a grip. And I'd be like, oh. When I was being a wench and deserved it, I guess my own form of zombieism. We're all that way. I mean, none of us here are perfect.
Absolutely not.
None of us. We've all had our rebellious, whatever. To what extent? That's where we differ, I'm sure.
But we don't kill people. We didn't kill people.
Yeah, like John Crumb says, don't murder, eat a sandwich. I'm going to refresh my page real quick.
I'm refreshing these questions just in case.
When I hear refresh, I hear crash.
I don't have anything yet.
So
I never can remember if it was under the home tab or the videos tab. I never can remember.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. I'm under videos. As you can see.
Okay. You go on home and I'll do videos because I think it's home.
You go home.
You knucklehead.
You go home. Yeah. John Crimes. He says, don't murder, eat a sandwich. So thank you, John Crimes. He did some really good videos in the very beginning for not really knowing as much as we know now. I'm like, wow. They're very heartfelt. I'm so appreciative of him for his gift with being able to put this together, For me, it was part of my coping, part of my healing, part of my dealing. Yeah. So there's that. 226 in chat. Let's see how many people can go and hit the like button,
Hit that like
subscribe,
button.
so
Hit
that
that
you
like.
can help support and grow this platform, so that you can help the voices of the victims reach further, get bigger and louder.
I meant
That's
to
all.
have my pen and paper ready to take notes while it's on, so I can write stuff down. So we'll be able to
Thank
talk
you for the
about
super chat, by the way, Eric.
it. Oh, you're welcome.
Y'all swindle me. When are you going to have a live stream so I can super chat you? Damn it. Thank you, though.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I've had a couple envelopes come back with the mailing labels fell off, y'all. So I've got to figure out who it was. I'm like, how do I know who these people are? I don't know who.
I finally got
Oh,
my mail figured out. And
oh,
if you have any of those bracelets,
I do.
I've finally got it figured out, and I do apologize for that.
Oh, no. I just was like, that's not the address, boo. Oh, I sent the wrong thing just now. My bad. I don't know what I did. Because in my screen, I have it like my window is like this big, and then the other half is the courthouse. Whatever. YouTube channel. And
I
so,
don't.
yeah, no, I know. So, hey, let's restore lore horror. Let's restore lore horror, right? Going to you, I about
Nice.
crap myself when I was like, oh my God, thank you, thank you, thank you. That's beautiful. And so last night I came up with, oh my God, I got to think of it. I wrote it down. Okay, because I was watching a lot of the witches. I don't know what else to call them. The casting. So I want to make sure to say the anti-cast team instead of antichrist. Anti-cast. We're against that casting. We're against the antichrist. I was like, that's kind of funny. I'd wear it. And the SEAL team. We need some SEAL team people, right? So that no more ceilings. Damn it.
Jeez, tell me about it.
Cheese and rice.
I got caught up in trying to get some documents
Thank you, my
and
friend.
to find a hearing for that
Thank you, Megan.
whack job out of Wisconsin, Taylor's business, right before we came on. And
Thanks.
I was going to count. He's live. He's live.
Okay,
On
okay,
the
okay. Okay, do we have to mute?
Yeah, we'll do it anyway.
Okay. I don't, but if I don't have sound, you know, I'm trying. I will get better at this. Let me know if I need to mute. I'm sorry. I have slow internet. Today. Oh.
Okay, I believe we're ready. We'll go on the record. This is KCR 22-21-16-23, State versus Chad Guy. Daybell, representing Mr. Daybell, is Attorney John Pryor. Representing the state, our prosecutors, Rachel Smith, Rob Wood, and Lindsay Blake, and Tanya Rawlings as well. I've got staff attorney listening in on this as well. And a court reporter is reporting the proceedings. We're also live streaming this hearing on the court's YouTube channel to provide public access to this. The court received a request, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, from the state asking if we could schedule a status conference. I would note we've got additional hearings scheduled for tomorrow morning in the case. We've agreed then on shortened notice to hold this status conference, fitting it into the court's calendar today. Mr. Wood, what's the nature of the need for this status conference this morning?
Well, Your Honor, yesterday, I think, and I'll let Ms. Blake correct me if I'm wrong, we initially were told we would just set the state's motions to continue for Friday morning. And we had asked for either a status conference or a hearing on those. And then soon thereafter, we got the email from the court saying we could have the status conference. The state's purpose for asking for a status conference was just for scheduling. And if we still need to have our hearings on our motions to continue, that's fine. But we did have some concerns, and I'll let Ms. Smith address our concerns for the hearing tomorrow on the state's motion to reconsider in terms of new evidence or possible new evidence. We want to make sure we're giving the court accurate information and Mr. Pryor accurate information. And then we also had, we filed a motion to continue on Mr. Pryor's motion to dismiss. I would note we were initially informed that all 5 of Mr. Pryor's motions were set for next week. But I believe, and again, if I'm wrong, someone feel free to correct me, that it is only the motion to dismiss. However, 2 of his other motions also include a request for dismissal. So we need one clarification, and we would still be wanting to have a motion to continue that for the state to have adequate time to prepare.
Okay, so to clarify what's currently on the calendar, tomorrow morning scheduled is the defendant's motion to sever and the state's motion for reconsideration. Next week on the 23rd is the hearing on the motion to dismiss filed by the defendant. But I understood with the other motions Mr. Pryor filed, and those were filed under seal, that those were not yet scheduled for hearing. So in the court's mind, we've got the 3 pending hearings, 2 for tomorrow, and the hearing next week on the defense motion to dismiss. In terms of this morning, then, we did indicate this was a status conference. Is it then the state's intention you want to argue the merits of the motion to continue your motion to reconsider? And I'll note the court already issued an order on the motion to sever, denying the motion to continue that. So we will go forward on the motion to sever, but on the state's own motion to reconsider tomorrow, that has not yet been determined. And on the short time frame here, I'm just curious as to whether you are indicating you want to hear the motion to continue at this time. And if so, I'll need to inquire as to Mr. Pryor as to whether he's prepared to do that. So Mr. Wood or Ms. Smith, do you want to clarify that issue?
Yes, Judge, I think it would be the state's request that we be allowed to argue that this morning, or at least provide the rationale to both Mr. Pryor and the court. We filed that motion, I believe, late last Friday. I'm not sure where it sort of went through in technology, but so yes, that would be our request this morning.
All right, Mr. Pryor, so on that limited issue of whether or not we should continue the state's motion to reconsider, do you want to, and are you prepared to hear argument on that this morning and respond to that? Or would you request that we take that up at a later time, knowing that we don't have much time between now and when that's set?
Judge, I did receive the notification. It was close to 5 o'clock on Friday. However, I think I'm prepared to argue the motion to continue the motion to reconsider. I think that's appropriate to argue that today.
Okay.
I'm fine with that, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Smith, then, if you'd like to make argument as it relates to the state's motion to continue your motion to reconsider, you can do so at this time.
Wonderful. Thank you, Judge. The state is requesting that there be a short postponement of the hearing on our motion to reconsider, essentially for 2 reasons. 1, the state wants to supply the court the most accurate information it can. And 2, we want to be able to get the information to Mr. Pryor in time for him to evaluate and address it as part of sort of our due diligence in sort of discovery process. Last week, in anticipation of our hearing, we sat down to meet with our witnesses and doing our due diligence, double checking things. We learned that a couple of the people we had anticipated calling or relying on their testimony had a meeting with personnel on March 1st with the court, and that some of their information upon that meeting in Ada County on March 1st, it was different than the state had been originally given. It's a situation that evolves. Dealing with budget projections is sometimes reading like a crystal ball. And so that staff had originally given information to our witnesses, and they relied on it, and that resulted in our exhibits. And so in talking to those people and getting our witnesses ready, we learned that some of the information that we had originally relied on may now be different post the March 1st meeting. We asked the representatives to get us updated information or to talk to us about it. And they indicated that they were reluctant to do that without permission from the trial court administrator, for Your Honor. And so we called her, and she indicated that she was reluctant to give us the additional information without permission from you. I recognize, we all recognize that everyone is working really hard to do things by the book and to do things very fairly. And so the state is in a position where the information that we provided Mr. Pryor in anticipation of this hearing may be different. Maybe to the benefit of Fremont County, maybe not, we don't know. But the people we were relying on are reluctant to give us some of that information without permission from the court. And so we would be in this position if they change their mind or they give us updated information this afternoon, then we're turning things over late to Mr. Pryor, which is not fair, and we know that, which is why we filed for the continuance. We are simply working with our witnesses to get you as accurate an estimate as we can. We recognize the court and the trial administrator were doing their own due diligence and evaluating the situation. It's just our witnesses were unaware of that meeting, and they were unaware of how things had changed. And so we're in a difficult spot. I don't want our witnesses to get up there and say something that's inaccurate to the court, but we do not have the ability to get them accurate information because people feel they can't speak without permission from the trial court administrator, who indicated Mr. Wood that she wants permission from you to talk to us.
All right, Mr. Pryor, what's your response to the state's request to continue their hearing on their motion to reconsider set for tomorrow?
Judge, and I don't want to belabor the point. We had a motion to change venue, and that was back last year, in the late fall of last year. Prior to that hearing, the state wanted to argue that they wanted to provide additional evidence and sought permission of the court to provide that additional evidence. I filed a motion to continue that because I did not want to get information dropped upon me at the last minute. However, the court, in its discretion, denied my motion to continue and said, listen, the two of those hearings are linked together so extrinsically that we need to address this all at one time. Subsequent to that, the court issued an order, changed the venue to Ada County, and denied the state's motion to allow the jury to be brought to Fremont County. The state then filed a motion to reconsider. But before the state filed the motion to reconsider, at that venue hearing, the status before the judge specifically said, Mr. Pryor, I'm not going to allow them to just dump information on you and not provide you an opportunity to respond. And I appreciated the court doing that. But what the court did not do is give Ms. Smith and Ms. Wood and Ms. Blake an opportunity to take a second crack at the apple. And now what we're dealing with is this, Judge, 3 or 4 months later, in excess of 4 months, we are now dealing with an opportunity where now they're calling more witnesses. But they had their opportunity to present the evidence, and they insisted on going forward on the day of the venue. They insisted, even though I said I don't want to go forward, they insisted on going forward. And now what they do is they drop this information on me, saying, here's our additional evidence. And they provided facts, they provided costs, they provided details, they provided information that they think supports their position for the court to reconsider its prior ruling. And the words reconsider, Judge, are very important. because we've been down this road before. When Mr. Means was on the case with Ms. Vallow, Mr. Means filed a motion to reconsider, and this court ruled that there was no legal authority for the court to entertain a motion to reconsider. And if that was the court's position then, I would like it to be the court's position now and be consistent, that they don't get to go forward on a motion to reconsider. Not only that,
Mr. Pryor, I'll say there's a little difference here because in my ruling, I certainly left the door open. Part of the ruling was we were so far before trial because trial is scheduled so far out that even some of the information would maybe not be relevant or would be stale by the time we were actually getting to trial. And so unlike in that prior situation that you've mentioned with the other case, I think I did leave the door open here for the state to take a second opportunity for me to consider that. So I'd like to make that distinguishment.
okay. But Judge, that additional opportunity, and I would ask the court to go back and review what you said. My impression, and I may be wrong, is that the court said, you know, I'll allow Mr. Pryor for you to provide information, allow the state to provide some additional information. Well, what is happening is the state has now disclosed 4 or 5 additional witnesses. They provided additional information. If we rely on what Ms. Smith says, it's saying, Judge, you know, when we first provided you the information several months ago, I don't know where the source of that came from, but they're now saying, Judge, you know, we gave you some inaccurate information. And when we were providing our response and we're providing our authority to supplement the record from the previous hearing, we're now saying our information is not accurate and it's not correct. So Judge, you know, after Mr. Pryor has filed his response and addressed all of their concerns and addressed why I think it should stay in Ada County, the prosecutor is saying now, after I have filed a response, Judge, a week later, well, maybe our information isn't quite as accurate because now that we look at this thing, we're getting some different information. Well, you know, Judge, please forgive me if I'm a little skeptical about what this new information is going to be. And frankly, Judge, when they provide that new information, then what's going to happen is I'm going to look at it and change my tact potentially. And I'm going to need to get an expert witness. And I'm going to need to subpoena people. And this motion to decide what we do in terms of venue, where the jury is going to be sequestered, is going to drag on. Because if they provide me that additional information and it changes dramatically their numbers and to their benefit, they're going to cause me to have to do a full-blown analysis of what they're suggesting. Because I didn't trust their information the first time, and I surely don't trust their information the second time. And I think this is just another mechanism for these folks to try to continue this matter so that it puts a very difficult place for us to have a trial in January. And Judge, I would ask the court to deny their motion. And I would ask the court to not even allow them to present evidence because I view this as a motion to reconsider. And whether the court opened the door or not, I don't think they should get a second crack at the apple.
May I be heard, Judge?
Go ahead.
Briefly in response, we are not saying that the original information we gave was inaccurate. We are saying that given the way budgeting evolves, given now that the parties know it's going to be in Ada County for jury selection at least, and potentially for the whole trial, that the information our witnesses relied on may have changed. In an abundance of caution, we are attempting to make sure that the information that we present at a hearing is given to Mr. Pryor ahead of time so he has a chance to look at it. We cannot do that because the witnesses feel they cannot discuss the changes or discuss the situation without permission from the court. Nobody's at fault. Everybody's just working really hard to follow the rules. And so we need permission from the court to let these people talk to us to see if the original estimates remain accurate or if things have changed, potentially to the benefit of Fremont County. And that is part of our due diligence in providing as close to an accurate estimate of economic impact as we can to the court. The second piece, and just so that the state's position is clear, the court, and I've reviewed the entire YouTube proceeding on the change of venue, the court repeatedly actually granted Mr. Pryor's motion to continue matters. There's multiple sections where that's brought up. and the court, when respecting his need for notice, when the state asked a question that could verge on opening that door, the court limited those questions, but did tell the state that they would give us an opportunity to present academic evidence in the future should we feel the need to do so. So I just wanted to make sure the state's position is clear, that the court was correct. And I agree with you, Judge, that you did not preclude us from bringing it up in the future.
All right. Well, this is a motion to continue, and I've considered the arguments and concerns raised by both the state and Mr. Pryor. I'll note the court has broad discretion in granting a motion to continue. They have to look at the overall administration of this case. As everyone knows, we're set for trial in January. Things are going to march along quickly between now and then. This is an important issue for the court to consider. As I have learned, it's going to take a lot of planning and effort and coordination amongst the counties in order to conduct the trial, where it's currently scheduled to take place in Ada County, which is what's been ordered at this point and has been approved by the Idaho Supreme Court. In terms of this motion, I'll note, first of all, this is the state's motion, and the state is now requesting the continuance and has raised a valid and legitimate reason, in that they indicate that information that has been submitted in support of the motion may need to be corrected or updated. And so I do find there's a rational basis for bringing the motion. It's not done simply for an unnecessary reason to delay. I understand the concerns raised by Mr. Pryor in terms of how that may require him to make additional preparation. And then in a moment, I'll get to the point of this argument that some permission from the court is needed in support of this motion. So given that the state raised this issue prior to the hearing, and in the interest of having true and accurate and correct information for me to make a determination, I am going to grant the state's motion to continue, their motion to reconsider. However, I want this continuance to be brief, because I don't want this to impact any other aspect of the case in terms of it moving forward towards our trial date. So I'm going to have a few questions then for the state in terms of when you are going to have your additional information, when you can get that to Mr. Pryor. And then I don't want this to go out more than another 30 days, quite frankly, because the motion's been pending for a long time. We need to keep it on track. And then in terms of this permission from the court, I'll get back to that in a moment. But either Ms. Smith or Mr. Wood, what are your thoughts on when you will have your information so that it can be supplied in a timely manner to Mr. Pryor?
Your Honor, it's sort of intertwined with my next question, because I agree with you. I'm not sure that the court has to grant people permission to speak to us, but I recognize what they're saying. So if people will speak to us, we don't need more than 30 days. In fact, I suspect we need less.
Yeah, because I don't go around and just give people permission to do something or not. In the case, I either order something or I don't. And
Right.
so if you think somebody needs to be ordered, you need to submit a request for an order, and then an order would be issued if I find it appropriate. If not, permission's not something I grant or deny for people to speak about the case. That's governed by the rules. And
Right.
I have not had any request or has asked me to order anyone to talk about this issue. So I just want to be clear on that. Are you saying you're going to seek an order from me to compel someone to speak?
If their position remains that way, yes. And that's, I will be candid, I was surprised by that as well, Your Honor. So forgive me, we're a little, and so we will, it's the trial court administrator who works for your circuit. I think she wanted to make sure that she wasn't violating any rules. She's had a few days to think about it. So we will circle back with her to see if her position has changed. And if she feels that a court order is necessary, we will file that. We can know that certainly by Monday morning. I want to respect people's efforts to do everything by the book. I want to give them the opportunity to proceed. And if we need a court order, we'll do it by Monday.
All right, so when will you have your updated information available to provide to Mr. Pryor, if that's your thought on when you'll get that?
I certainly think we could provide it within the next 2 weeks. And I think I'm overstating that amount of time, but I don't want to get into a position where it's taking a while.
Okay. Well, and then that would give an additional 2 weeks. The issues out there, Mr. Pryor, the numbers are numbers. If you need to further review those, I think 2 weeks would be adequate time, knowing that the issue's been pending for a long time. So I'd like to look at setting a hearing then about 30 days out on the state's motion to reconsider. We'll vacate the hearing that's scheduled tomorrow morning. And let me look at my calendar for a moment.
Judge, before we do that, could I make a comment?
Go ahead, Mr. Pryor.
If they're intending to seek information and allow the trial court administrator to speak, I would like that order to include my ability to discuss it with the trial court administrator and have the opportunity. It seems that having it one-sided would be of a concern to me. So if they're going to ask this trial court administrator to submit an order, I'd like that order to include that I am permitted to contact the trial court administrator and discuss the same issues with them. Because quite frankly, Judge, if they give me information exactly 2 weeks from today, that gives me 2 weeks to find an expert, to find another trial court administrator or another person who can address those things. And then I'm in a position where I have to find an expert. I have to discuss it with an expert. And my whole concern about this thing goes back to this, Judge, is if the information is changed or hasn't changed, if nobody's talking, how do they know that? And this just seems like a delay to me. But I will obviously do what the court directs, but with the understanding that if you give me 2 weeks and I get the information in 2 weeks, Judge, I'm going to be in a very difficult position to provide a response. And I've already provided a lengthy response, and I'm going to have to go over it and do it again. And that seems to prejudice me a little bit, at least from my perspective, Your Honor. But I don't want to delay this either, Judge. I'd like them to have it to me within a week. And I don't see that there's any difficulty that they could not get this information to me within 7 days. It can't be that complicated.
All right, I'm considering that, Mr. Pryor, but I'm not giving any advisory opinion on any order that I haven't issued yet. So if an order is proposed, I'll consider that to see if it's an appropriate order given the circumstances.
Your Honor, just so the court's clear, the state wouldn't object to Mr. Pryor having access to that to anyone we would talk to. I mean, they're public officials.
Okay, I'm looking over my calendar, which is not a whole lot of availability because trials have started again. Let me confirm this. I think I've got Wednesday, April 20th.
That works for me, Judge. Thank you.
The state, I can make that work, Your Honor. Let me check. I believe my colleagues can. Yes, that works for the state, Your Honor.
Okay, let's schedule that for 9:30 a.m. on Wednesday, April 20th. All right, that concludes then on the state's motion to continue their motion to reconsider. Is there anything else we need to bring up this morning at this hearing?
Judge, in regards to their motion to continue the motion to dismiss, I would like to clarify that it is one motion. Now, attached to part of that were two other motions that address some other issues as they relate to Ms. Smith and Mr. Wood. I'm not anticipating arguing those. I'm going to argue the motion to dismiss that was addressed in my brief and partially addressed in the other two briefs. And that's all I'm intending to discuss. Now, if the state needs more time on the 23rd, Judge, I will stipulate to giving them additional time. I did provide them 3 lengthy briefs, and if they need some additional time, I'm not opposed to them having that additional time. And we can vacate the 23rd if they would like a brief delay in hearing that one.
Your Honor, that if I can, we appreciate that. The motion to dismiss, the primary motion, it is a lengthy motion, and we would appreciate more time to respond to it. I would note that in the when we had the scheduling conference on that, there was no time limit given on the state to respond, but we would like to provide that to Mr. Pryor in an adequate time as well. So we would like to continue that. We would like to get some type of scheduling in place for the other motions as well, Your Honor. As Mr. Pryor just said, they are interrelated, or that he would be arguing portions of them. And so we would like to get those on the calendar as well, so we can respond and get those taken care of.
Judge,
Hold on, Mr. Pryor. I'd like an opportunity to respond.
Sorry.
In this case, then, we do have set a motion to dismiss on March 23rd at 9:30. The state's requested a continuance of that. And are you indicating, Mr. Pryor, that you don't object to continuing your motion to dismiss?
I don't object, Judge. I understand that the primary motion to dismiss was, my recollection was in excess of 50 pages long, and the two accompanying, although I'm not going to be arguing the accompanying motions that are different, two of the other briefs included facts that addressed the motion to dismiss as well. So given that, there's basically three briefs that address the motion to dismiss, and I did it in that way so that there was no confusion. As far as the other motions, the three other motions that I see, I would prefer that we allow the court to address the motion to dismiss. And at that point, once the court addresses that, if the court grants the motion, the other motions become moot. If the court denies the motion, then I can set a time to notice the other ones up. That would be my preference, Your Honor.
Well, with these lengthy motions, and again, going through my calendar, I do have that April 20th date open and could use that time. I do have this concern, though, that if there's a ruling or I need to take a matter under advisement on the motion to dismiss, I would prefer to have that argued and heard on the 23rd, so that then there's time for the court to get a decision and possibly not have to go forward on the other pending motions. I guess I'd like to know why, again, on this motion to dismiss, that was actually, the motion was filed back in June of 2021. I mean, it was filed forever ago, and I understand that it took quite a time and an effort to compile all of the record that is necessary for review, the grand jury transcripts. And so I don't blame necessarily that delay on getting the hearing set, but now, again, continuing that out, where I don't really see time in my calendar. I could probably get something before the 20th if I looked, but we're either setting everything together on the 20th, or else we could still go forward on the motion to dismiss as scheduled on the 23rd. And I'd just like to know why parties couldn't be prepared to hear just the motion to dismiss on the 23rd, even if I were to allow for any additional follow-up briefing if required on the 23rd.
Judge,
Go ahead, Mr. Pryor. Why can't we do this on the 23rd?
Judge, and I will let Mr. Wood know, and Ms. Smith and Ms. Blake. I hope I'm not missing anybody. I don't intend lengthy argument on the 23rd. My concern is that some of the facts that I addressed in my memorandum are things that I'm not going to state in public. I'm going to probably submit on my brief and with very little argument, because I'm concerned about the privacy concerns of some of the citizens and some of the other issues. So at this point, I'm probably going to just submit on it or offer a very brief argument. And I would be receptive to the state arguing and then supplementing my brief with a response within a period of time and allowing me a supplemental response and then allow the court to make its ruling. If that's the way the court wants to go, I don't think that would prejudice the state. They would still have the opportunity to submit a brief and get that to me within a time after the hearing on the 23rd. And I would be okay with that, Judge. And that way we keep this thing on track.
Justice.
Division's going, I fully accept that opportunity, Judge.
All All right, Mr. Wood or Ms. Smith, I'd like a response to that in terms of holding the hearing on the 23rd, knowing that really on a motion like that, it's likely that it will require further review, and it's not a motion that the court is likely to make a ruling on from the bench. Is there a reason why the state is not going to be or couldn't be prepared for argument on the 23rd with an opportunity to submit potentially a written responsive brief after argument?
Your Honor, if that's the method the court chooses, we'll certainly abide by that. We would like a little more time to adequately respond to the brief. I believe it's 55 pages long. There's a lot of points raised. There's a lot of case law to go through with it, and we obviously have already started on that. But we think the most effective method would be to have a little more time to prepare that brief. If the court does decide it wants to hear it on the 23rd, we will argue, but we would certainly want additional time to brief it after.
Okay, fair enough. Given the constraints we have at this point, I'm going to deny the motion to continue the hearing that was scheduled by the defense on their motion to dismiss for the 23rd, keeping in mind that there's likely to be a request for the parties to submit additional written argument or briefing post-argument at the hearing. But so we'll keep that on the court's calendar, and that's scheduled for 9:30 a.m. on the 23rd, and we'll hear argument at that time then. All right. Mr. Wood, is there anything else then on the case we need to bring up this morning?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Wood. Mr. Pryor, anything further for the defense?
Your Honor, I would just like the day as to when the state's to provide me the additional information. If I could have a specific day, I would appreciate it.
All right, I appreciate that. I neglected to mention that. So with the hearing we scheduled on the 20th for the state's motion to reconsider, let's schedule a time for disclosure of any additional information in support of that motion. We've got 4.5 weeks until that hearing. So would the state be able to have that to Mr. Pryor by the 1st, April 1st?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, that'll give you about 19 days then, Mr. Pryor, to review that information for that motion. So the state will be required to file any supplemental information and provide any further information in support of their motion no later than 5:00 p.m. on Friday, April 1st. All right, counsel, thanks for your appearances this morning. Then that will conclude the hearing, and we will see you back on the record tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Gracias. Okay, hold on. I gotta figure everything out. Oh, we're back in. Hey. Are you unmuted, Eric? Are we back in? Can you hear me?
I am now. Sorry, I've got my phone's blown up, and
They were like, shoom, 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 like there was text messages flying.
yeah. And I tried recording it on my cell phone, and I'm hoping
China.
that it worked, but it's not popping up yet. So I'm kind of.
Oh, it'll take a little bit of time sometimes. But anyway, so what do y'all think? What do y'all think came from this? What did you glean from it? Thank you, Liz Johnson. My best friend is a Johnson.
It started out as being more of the same old. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, and
But
then
no more.
and then it took a turn for the better, and you know the state won both motions that they wanted. They got the motion to continue for the jury stuff. They also just got the motion for the to dismiss. They got an extension for that
Mhm.
to file their supplements by April the 1st. And the one thing that was shocking to me, Pryor's motion to dismiss is 55 pages long.
Well, I mean, he's kind of a long-winded dude.
And
Quite frankly,
by the way,
he's long-winded.
just so people know, that wasn't Presha talking in chat. That was
Yeah, I was like,
that
wow,
was me.
cool.
I told Pryor,
Yay.
told him to STFU. So that was me. That wasn't Presha.
Oh, I would have said it too. So, yeah. I was saying it behind the thing. I was like, I hope y'all couldn't see me behind the thing, behind the veil of the screen, because I was doing all kinds of stuff. I knocked something over and landed on my keyboard. I was like, what? And the screen flashed. I was like, oh my God, I would do it. I would do it. Anyways, Mom, what do you think? Mom.
Oh, she asked about Pryor being death penalty
Death
qualified.
penalty. Yeah.
No, he's not. He is not qualified.
And might I add that he retained and paid for John Pryor with money, but it's Tammy's blood money. I mean, come on. And the house that she worked for, basically, in my opinion. You know, let's just call. Thank you, Paula. That's so sweet. Thank you. Okay, Carrie says, I gleaned 1, Judge Boyce is going to allow the prosecution to continue to argue why the trial should be moved back to Fremont County because of cost. I think so too. I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's always about money. I mean,
it's always about money, right?
Always about money. But
It's
I will say this: the state should have had all of this stuff lined up and ready to go.
Right. Long time ago.
I'm not sure. I don't understand how this witness that won't talk unless is given an order. I mean, you're a public official, for crying out loud.
Who is this again? Oh, the judge. He did like cut him off though. He was like, hold on. I was like, whoa, wow. I'd like to see a little more of that. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, only in favor of, I can't.
And I've been trying to understand Pryor's death penalty deal. I've been trying to understand that for months.
Right? Because I mean, it's blood money.
The way it's set up is John Pryor, he's put what, 2+ years into this now? Yeah, he's put over 2 years.
Yeah.
And Chad's already got the death penalty levied against him. And the way it's set up is a death penalty qualified attorney will simply come in when the trial starts and sit down at the table beside him and just be there to make sure John doesn't mess up. I don't understand that.
Maybe because he has so much knowledge about it. Come on, I mean, it's just like somebody coming into this scene right now with the true crime, with the crime community, with this community that these victims brought together. And they're way over here like, who is so-and-so? And you're like, no. So that's how I am kind of thinking he would be second chair because he knows the beginning and he will know the end too.
But wouldn't that piss you off though, that you've put
It does piss me
all
off.
this time and energy into it to have somebody else come in? And
I wouldn't represent him. That's just me. I don't know. I'm not attorney material at all. It's not that I don't want to. It's just like, I don't know. I couldn't represent them at all.
The motion to reconsider, just so I'm right, the motion to reconsider is still on the 23rd of March, correct?
Yes. The one for tomorrow that I already made a thumbnail for.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
why.
that's the severance.
Right, Audrey? Pisses me off that Pryor gets all the delays he wants, but Rob don't get diddly squat. Today he did, but geez, Pryor, stop. Geez, Pryor, stop the bullshit extending shit. I'm just gonna say what I think she was saying. I'm a translator. Don't shoot the messenger.
But the thing is, the state's the one who just asked for all these continuances. It wasn't
Right.
Pryor.
I know, but that's not the thing. Usually Pryor runs the show.
Right.
Quite frankly, he has always just butted in wherever and whenever he wanted and wants. And so I'm glad to see that. I guess, I mean, I'm if Rob, who represents the state, who represents the victims, those babies and Tammy and us, who represents Team Justice, I know that we are tired of the delays and stuff, but I know I know we've kind of talked about it before. My family is I think they've said the same thing as far as all we have is time. That's all we have. And so it's okay. We just want it to be just and fair so that they cannot come back and pull a Casey Anthony on us or whatever. And I sit there and wonder that sometimes. I'm just like, would they get sniped as soon as they come out to jail? Would they'd have to move and get a, reconstruction? I don't know. It's weird. So, I mean, all we have is time. That's how I feel. And so if it's anything that if Rob and them are wanting it, then I want it. Unless it's something
Okay.
I want.
Let me correct myself again. The motion to dismiss is on the 23rd, not the motion
I
to
need to write that down so I can schedule it early, not just a day ahead. And I haven't been sharing it out anywhere. I've just been, y'all know
Well,
I'll be here unless I'm at the trial or whenever, if ever, the trials happen. One day. Okay, so I need to write it down because I will not remember what point in time in the video you said that, and I don't want to have to text you later. It saved me like 15 steps. So the 23rd is
to dismiss.
Motion to dismiss. All right.
And Kay, as far as the insurance money, since Pryor
Charged with it.
got the deed to his house, I don't think there's any money left.
Well,
I don't
you have
know.
to also think that they can't charge him with fraud if I don't know. He defrauded allegedly. Oh, I hate that word. Basically exchange his wife's life for life insurance cash that was in Lori's bag when Nadine called up to her and was like, "Hey, Lori, what's all that money doing in your bag?" I was like, hell yeah. What? Whew, drop the mic. But anyways, that is what Tammy's blood money has paid for. That's what Uncle Charles's blood money would have paid for. Had she gotten it, they would have gotten it. Had Brandon been shot and murdered on October 2nd, another $1 million. Come on, that's a lot of freaking money. Plus, I don't really know what she did with all the money she had, siphoned out of their joint account before my uncle was murdered. So it's like there's got to be some money, and then money left. And then Zelema with her $5,000 to $7,000. I didn't count it. I'm like, bullshit. You didn't. He was like this. He wasn't even cold yet, probably. Whatever. And that's a big thing too. I knew that cash and money and guns couldn't be together. I think that's like no, not good. So I think that, anyways, I'm side railing.
The motion to sever is still tomorrow at
Oh,
9:30.
okay.
They vacated the one after it that was set for 11. So
Okay, what's tomorrow?
to sever.
What is tomorrow's date? 3/18. Today was my grandmother's birthday.
Happy birthday.
Well, she's the matriarch that Keith. I've been forgetting. Dateline, dude. Yeah, that's my mom's mom, Uncle Charles's mom. Oh no, she died today. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Eric. Ah,
No, you're fine.
yeah, I said that wrong. So 3/18/22, and it's tomorrow is at 11, and then 3/23/22 is Monday, and that's the motion to shut John Pryor up.
That's to dismiss. Yes.
Okay, and over my dead body is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dismiss
I mean,
that. Dismiss that.
good luck with all of that.
I
And
mean, if you can raise the dead, okay, I'll be your huckleberry. You know,
has
that's not how it works.
has everybody seen the documents yet of what he's going to be arguing to
Everything.
dismiss?
No,
Has everybody seen that?
no. Where
Because
can you share that at?
well, I can send it to you, and you can put it on.
Ah,
And you
I
can
can
put
make a
it on.
quick video. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
But it's been so discombobulated. Boyce went on vacation. Okay, he went
Yeah,
on vacation,
he was
and
gone last
this
week.
this other judge, Dunn, he came in and sealed a bunch of stuff, and
Is it
nobody knew who it was and what was going on.
is it
So,
because he didn't want to, like, it's not his monkeys, not his circus type of deal? Like, he didn't want to step on the judge's toes, you think?
well, I was told that he's retired, and but they still have to. He can still put so many. I don't know what it was called, hours in the seat just to hold the seat down until boys came in.
Okay.
Not
Push the
if that
pin.
makes any sense.
Sign the
But
things. Do the
yeah,
things.
yeah,
Yeah.
just a pin
Yeah.
push.
All right.
And,
Thank
and
you, Suzanne.
there's a whole list, and it wasn't supposed to be put out to the public, but in the comments in the portal, they listed everything that Pryor is going to argue when he argues to dismiss. Let me send you
Okay.
let me send that to you.
Thank you, Suzanne. And I've had the same questions too. And that's one of those things that has got to be addressed. I don't know why they didn't, like, it was just basically like a freaking country club. Like, it was so weird. That is the most weirdest investigation. Not that I've watched many, but I've watched a really effed up one, and it's right there in Arizona. And I mean, I have the highest respect for law enforcement. They have tough jobs. I get it. But you're there. You may as well do your job instead of schooling my uncle on how to say, I suspect. Listen to what the hell the man is saying. He is saying his wife is freaking batshit crazy. And he is being condemned and overlooked because he's describing Lori's. She's not insane. She's not crazy, cuckoo crazy. She's a crazy bitch, like that, like crazy bitch. Okay. Like, we know there's crazy fun, crazy silly, crazy bitch, and then there's like cuckoo. Well, she's not cuckoo. in my opinion. She's done this her whole entire life. She knows no other way. She's just, how would she change her pattern of behavior? As according to 2020 interview with Adam just recently, Lori seems the same.
Right.
And just, I'm sure in Melanie's words, everything's fine. Just all, yeah, I hate when she does that shit. Ugh. Anyways, okay, I got that. Okay, now let me figure out how to work this. So can you work this while I figure this out?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Eric. You gotta address everybody.
Well, I'm looking at the chat.
Everybody.
Hey, hi Nettie of Norway. Glad you made it.
So, and thank you again, Suzanne. That's so sweet. Thank you. And we all think it, I think. And if not, there's so many of these cracks that these kids are falling through. Look at Harmony.
Right.
Look at the little baby 4-year-old that they found in the freezer.
Serenity McKinney.
I mean, there are so many children just. And I don't want to hear coronavirus. I don't want to hear excuses. I want to see action. And so, I guess you gotta, don't talk about it, be about it. So I need to shut up myself. I also need to shut up, is what I'm saying. And I need to put my money where my mouth is. That's where I'm going. Just not there yet. It's a lot of learning. There's so much. There's every freaking subject. You can get a catalog for the college, and you're like, yeah, I need to take that. Everyone, check them. So I can't afford attorneys and people to do it for me. So I've got to do it myself. And I like that, but it's slow. So what do you want me to do with this, Eric?
Well, you can either read it to them or just put it up where they can see.
I don't know how to put it up from my phone.
It's all of the he said it's one motion, but it really isn't. It's like 10.
55. And so that's the 55 pages?
Yeah.
Where? And so that's in this?
Well, when it comes out, it will be, yeah.
Oh, it hasn't come out yet.
Not yet.
How do you know? How do you know it's 55 pages? Okay, I'm sorry.
They said it in the hearing. Prior said it.
I just like disconnect when he's talking.
I'm sorry. Rob Wood said it.
Okay.
He said it was 55 pages long. But there's well, you can read it to him.
That's all I want, Donna.
Who maybe hadn't seen it yet or heard yet. You can read it to him.
So Eric just sent me a screenshot. I'm going to do this so that I can show you what I'm reading. Just. And
Prior wanted all of that sealed.
Well, everything else is.
that new other judge.
Oh.
He missed that memo.
Okay, cool.
And now, if you go back and look in the portal now, they're all sealed. You can't see anything of what you're looking at right now.
I can't.
No, they're all sealed. It's all sealed. But
I'm looking at it.
I'm faster than they are.
Well, anyways, I'm just reading something that I found off the internet.
Yeah, I mean,
research on your own. I'm not liable for this, is what I'm saying.
No, it's no big deal. I mean,
I'll shoot the messenger. So it says 3/8/22, 3/8 of 2022. A motion comment says to disqualify the out-of-state prosecuting attorney, Rachel, right? Set aside the indictment and strike the death penalty. Oh, okay. And then there's another motion, March 8th, 2022. Mind you that March 9th was Tammy and Chad's anniversary. For disclosure of homicide and death penalty cases, Rachel Smith has served as counsel or worked on pro hac VC,
VJ.
VJ, or consulting capacity. I'm gonna read that again because okay. It's a motion. It says for disclosure of homicide and death penalty cases, Rachel Smith has served as counsel or worked on pro hag vice or consulting capacity. Okay, I don't read legalese. You put me in the portal. Okay, so tell me what that means. I don't understand. I don't. That's why I depend on you and Jason.
Well, I mean, the gist of it is he's throwing everything at the wall just to see if anything will stick. I mean,
As always.
like I told Gigi yesterday, if there was anything in this world foul about Rachel Smith being on this case, do you really believe that Mark Means would have sat quiet for 2 years?
No,
So
not at all.
he doesn't have anything with that. So just, I mean, yeah, he's going to argue it, but good luck, Chuck. I mean,
Yeah. So everybody, y'all want to meet back here tomorrow? And then just what I'll do tomorrow's is at what time? At 11 a.m. So we'll go on an hour early.
No.
See, I guess it's wrong.
9:30.
Holy cannoli. That's a big gap. All right. So 9:30.
Yeah.
So we'll go live an hour. And that's me and Eric decided when we talk time, we are going to just go with court time. So that's 9:30 Mountain Standard Time. And what we'll do is I'm Central, so we'll be an hour behind that. And then Eastern's an hour behind. So 9:30, 10:30, we'll be here Central, and then 11:30 Central, in Eastern. Oh my God, see, probably driving y'all crazy. Anyways, so I mainly just said that so it would stick in my head.
Just check in, y'all. You'll find us eventually.
Yeah, and maybe we can invite a few up, to come talk.
Yeah.
If so,
Gigi,
email me at Presha. I don't have mod bots or anything like that, so I'm like, well, I don't know what they do. But anyways, let me put my email right here, and it's also on my YouTube page. But just go there and let me know. That way I can kind of line that out a little bit and plan it somewhat. I can't even believe I just used the word plan. I'm getting old, Mom. Holy crap. But yeah, that way, because the link, if I put it in the chat, anybody can come up that clicks that damn link. It was a circus one day. It was fun. It turned out fun, but I was like, oh my God, I accidentally did this, and I'm not saying a word because we just rolled with it.
Zero. There, I put them on my Twitter. I put them all on the Twitter. If you want to catch them there, but no, yeah. I'm not going to put them on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. I really don't care for people making. That's exploitation in my opinion. And I mean, it's in the name of missing and exploited children. I'm kind of in that camp. That's my camp. Mm-hmm. So there are people that do it tactfully, and then they're, like with justice in mind and speaking for, like advocating for the victims and stuff. And then there are those who don't. And that's where I'm like, steam comes out of my ears. Okay. I never thought I'd get so pissed off about something, but it bothers me. So, it's just another way to not allow anybody to exploit my murdered family and my living family. Lori already exploited my ancestral family, so I'm good. Maybe that's why I'm so pissed off. Trigger. I don't know. I can't explain it. I can't explain it today, but I will hopefully one day be able to explain it. And if
Uh,
you're ever put in this situation, you would so understand.
oh,
You would definitely do everything in your due diligence to protect your family, those you love, um, and the people that really do care, the people that like Donna. I don't need money. I love having y'all here. That's priceless. Time is priceless. Y'all know that. Can't get it back, and y'all spend it here with us, helping us get through this, helping, and every one of you are advocating for them. That's that many more mouthpieces out there speaking and giving them a voice, which was taken, stolen, robbed, and it was also taken from us. So I don't know. Rant over. I digress. Sorry about that. I wasn't bitching. I'm just,
no,
I feel a type of way about that. So
but to answer your Mama Kay,
eh.
they both have fraud charges.
Yeah. Lori, Aunt Lorhor,
Mhm.
for collecting money, I believe on Social Security and death benefits.
For 4 months.
Hmm.
She collected it for 4 months after
After
everything had
she
happened.
disappeared them.
Yeah,
That's
after she,
everybody used to be like, "Why won't she show her children?" I'm like, "Cause they're not missing to her. She misplaced them. She's the one that did it." Ugh.
after she
Anyways,
annihilated the whole dang family.
she totally in today's terms, and if you look in the Urban Dictionary, she turned my family out. I'm telling you. Y'all know I joke about a lot of things, and I guess it's my way of coping, dealing with things that are very uncomfortable to talk about. So I'm not taking it lightly at all. Um, it's just my way. But she has exploited and used and raided and murdered and through pain upon changed the trajectories of our lives. I mean, nothing will ever be the same. Nothing will ever breathe life in them again, ever. And so that's what I look at. It's like, when prayer starts, I'm like, I don't get, I turn off. I don't hear shit. Just like Charlie Brown, wah, 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 wah. But I don't know. It's
You
crazy.
know,
Yeah.
something, and this is just so
Sorry.
stupid out of me, but you know what I realized yesterday
How
because
awesome.
I just hadn't put it together.
What?
But when I was watching for the docs in the portal, or no, I'm sorry, it wasn't in the portal. It was when I got the 60 messages from Vine.
Yeah.
Um, I actually took the time to add all 60 dates in my calendar on my phone,
And
and I got to February, and it dawned on me whenever I clicked on Valentine's Day that if they don't get severed, that'll be the last Valentine's Day that they'll ever be able to spend together.
yeah, good.
And I'm
And I
kind of
think, Mom, didn't Uncle Charles marry Lori right around? It was either on Valentine's Day or right around it. I don't remember that date for some reason. I know it was February. That would be, how things kind of tend to land on dates that are significant. And I
right.
mean, it may be significant on Tammy's side too, and other people. Um, that's crazy. It's crazy. Like today was my Nani's death date. She died 4 years ago, and that's when Lori did not go with her husband Charles to his mom's funeral. My grandma, my mom's mom, Charles's mom, and so that's when things started to shift. That's what my parents let out. through all, the interviews and stuff with Dateline and all that jazz. Oh, what you got to say, KJ? Thank you for the dance, by the way. I'm like, I love you, KJ. You're crazy in a good way. My kind of crazy.
They're just, and I'm as frustrated as anybody, guys. They're dotting all their T's and crossing all their I's.
They're making sure that they can't come back and, what do you call that?
Appeal.
Yeah. They can't walk out that.
And
I'm telling you, I swear to God, I want to be there when they sentence them, and I want to be like, and all your sentence to life, whatever the judge says, and then I'll be like, and you're also sentenced to every multiple mortal probation from here on yonder for millennia, or however Lori said it. I want them to be sentenced there too. I want just I don't know. I just want to throw that in their face.
well,
That was just their tactic. There's nothing really weird about multiple mortal probations. I have been studying this and researching this for over 2 years. And I'm just like, nobody knows what happens after we die. Nobody. So why are the only thing is just like what I noticed in these people, and I know I derailed, but this is still kind of the method in which they used to murder people, to murder. This was their plan, their hit list. Come on, and so that's what I have been doing, and never really knowing. I didn't know what a Mormon was. And I mean, I'm cool. Everything's cool. There's no hate, no harm. I'm still whatever. Neutral. That's the good word. And anyways, but they use this as method, as a, what am I trying to say? As a plan, if you will, a plot, their blueprints. I don't know. And there's really nothing weird about it. Just people are always going to argue or have different opinions about what's next, on this life. Is there afterlife? Is there whatever? But this group specifically have a very distorted look at it. And it's the reissuance of just, well, if you don't do good in this probation, then you can just be okay in the next one, That's where there's the issue. And so that's that cognitive dissonance thing. I'm just like, okay, well, how do we handle this? That's where I'm at now. How do we approach this? How do we nip this in the bud so that at least that doctrine that's old, whatever, it's still attainable. And that paired with everything else of Chad and Lori and crew is just a disastrous combination, and it is only going to continue, shooting off these extreme murderers, who don't have to answer to anything in this life because they'll just do it again the next life.
we will know about Lori soon, Candy Gaylor. Real soon. Everybody just keep your head up.
Yeah. Be positive. I mean, we need that. Everybody here needs that. There's enough negativity in this case. And just know that they will be brought to justice. And it's just like anything else in our lives. It's never when we want it. It's never in our time. But when it does happen, do you ever just say, oh, thank you. Thank you. Or God bless the broken road, or thank God for unanswered prayers, things like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason.
I'm number one on the list for being pissed off. I mean, That's
Mom's number one on the zombie list.
that's not a secret. But
Right.
the reason I'm not pissed off because it's taking so long. I'm pissed off because she's the reason it's being delayed. Because the state, God bless them, they're doing everything in their power. And I meant to say this earlier and forgot. I know people are bashing the state, but the state is doing everything in their power not to sever this trial. They want them tried together.
Right. And I'm like I say, I just am going with my gut and my gut instinct, right? Because that's always right. Thank God we were all born with one, right? Because there's some people, MG, that we're not born with that.
Right.
Right. So, listen to that small voice because that is usually the right thing.
I'm a work in progress.
I used to mute the shit out of mine. I used to be like, shush up. I'm going to do the bad stuff. Hold my beer. Mom, okay, Mom K, whatever, Mama K. What are y'all's thoughts on this idea? If you are receiving Social Security for your child for whatever reason, such as disabilities, a deceased parent, spouse, parent, whatever reason, I'm sure there's a part 2 to that question. Don't you love how they give you no character space?
Oh, you can run out of space on there?
Oh, I have. That's why I've copied and pasted so many of my. That video would be over, and I'd still be like a pack. I'd copy and paste.
Yeah, you're right. There's part 2.
I know my mama. Don't you think it should be the parent or guardian's duty to she meant be accountable to Social Security Administration to ensure that your child is alive? Yes.
Without question.
I think anybody should. I mean, yeah, you're being paid by it's the state or federal. It's federal, right? Or no?
Yeah, Social Security, federal.
Yeah, no, it is state. I don't freaking know. Well, on any level, it should be. Accountability is key here, in my opinion, for sure.
And that's and that what she just said, that rolls over into we have a major problem with child protective services in this country.
They're underpaid, they're overworked, caseloads. Oh my God.
I don't know how to get something started, but my God.
Right here. I mean, that's what you do. You've got to get something and you've got to start getting it rolling. We've got to start like Candace and my friend Jenny, KJ, and everybody in the Ray, everybody here. We've talked about this and about holding the Chandler and whatever, holding the police departments accountable. But the 2 years has lapsed.
Yeah.
That's disheartening because look at the situation. It's kind of freaking not normal. Not that any murder is normal, but this is just weird. This one's weird and it's still not over. And it's like, how do you process all that and still, oh yeah, let me go and, you don't have, I don't think like that. I think of all the things I can do when I do get to that point. I'm like, okay, I want to do this. I want to do that. And I do. We need a committee or whatever. God's army.
Just within the last, probably not even 2 months, Presha, we've had 2 kids, made the social media circuit, made the national news circuit, who have been missing for 2 damn years, and nobody even knew.
And living under the damn stairs and stuff. I'm like, what the frick? Michael Vaughn, he's still missing. Baby Dior, There was one, I don't remember his last name, but little Cody, he's 4. He's been missing since January 31st. This is something I want to do. I want to be another outlet to where exposure, but you know how many views those videos get? Like 300. And I'm like, that's the problem. It's not mainstream. Screw that word mainstream. That word is ruined for me.
You know, I don't
You got to
have,
do your own research.
I don't know why some cases catch on and others don't, but it's a damn shame that we don't have a channel on TV. You know,
Nothing but.
news channels have tickers that run across the bottom. Sports
Yeah.
channels have the tickers. We should have a channel for every missing child running 24/7 on a channel.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be an Amber Alert or a whatever, just whatever. There are cases that have been closed, and there's so much corruption too, and cases that were 30 something years ago, and somehow their files got burned in a fire, just theirs. I'm just saying, it's these things, and it's just these. It's like if we don't get a wrap on it, it's going to wrap us. It's going to take your child, your grandson, your granddaughter, your niece, your nephew, your neighbor. I mean, this has definitely made me wake up and be aware of my surroundings. I'm rather hyper aware, however, and whatever, but that is calming down. But I used to never look at my surroundings. I didn't, whatever. I look down on the ground to make sure I'm not going to fall in a hole or something, or might find some money. And I'm short.
Be careful, be careful, huh?
Oh, let's see. I don't know. I wasn't keeping up with chat. I don't know if there was a comment before that, Mom. Oh, yeah, there was. If Lori would have been held accountable to Social Security, and I'm going to add my part in there and say held accountable in courts of law, held accountable, for all the things in the past that she just danced on through, cruising for a bruising, and then, and as well as I am going to say on the religious front, there's got to be somewhere where people can at least monitor. And basically like this, if we are working on programs right now to like people that go to jail, and then when they are about to be released, they start getting into, teaching them how to get back into society, right? Same concept, but in the religious sectors, because there's a lot of abuse that goes on everywhere.
Right.
And I'm just like, holy crap. Stuff I never wanted to know, but I needed to know. I needed to wake up.
Here's something that I've thought about too. And of course, I'm not smart. I dumb stuff down to my level, and it makes sense in my brain, but to a smart person, it's probably like, man, would you shut it all up?
You ramble too much. Yeah, me.
We make people that draw unemployment check in
every week,
once a week, right?
Yes. Oh my God, that's a good point.
We don't do that for our kids.
That's messed up. Whoa. Let's be quiet for a second and just think about that. That's really gross. That's really
Twisted.
Backwards. That's the priorities are not right.
They're not right.
I never looked at it like that. That's a good point of view. And thank you. Everybody has everybody can contribute like this. That's what's cool. Then you take, and I guess, I don't know, I've never done this before, but I guess you take and you mold it into whatever you need it to be, and whatever you need it to be, and whatever, whomever it needs to go to. That's not going to be a part of the dark side. Let me just put it like that. It's very close to government overreach. However, when you're receiving benefits to support your children from the government, then you should be accountable to them. I concur. And like, what do y'all think about, like, as far as welfare, food stamps, things like that? Same, across the board standards, right?
Yeah.
Because you have to feed your children. Like, point in case, Harmony, the stepmom that got arrested
Harmony Montgomery.
for collecting food stamp benefits.
Yep.
It held her in jail.
He's still in jail for that.
Yeah. Well, hey, fraud is fraud. I don't. It doesn't have a race, creed, religion, gender, sex, age. None of that. It just, evil is evil. And
I mean, granted, I know, you're never going to stop all of it.
no,
But my God, we've got to start somewhere.
some nets, some filters,
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. If you've got a child with a disability who's receiving benefits, you present that child, want every type of
Whatever.
food, nothing else. I mean,
FaceTime with the newspaper, whatever. Yeah, we'll get to that point, but
and that's why I was so pissed off at Idaho when I found out that Idaho doesn't even have Casey's law. Or I'm sorry,
it should be worldwide, but not just state, not just I say parish. We're the only state with parishes, counties. It should not just be this problem. It should be everybody's freaking problem, because it is everybody's effing problem. Really.
What is that called, Presha? Casey Anthony's she's the mom. Kaylee's law. Kaylee's law.
Yeah.
Idaho doesn't even have that.
That's bothered you for a long time.
It has.
I mean, you shared that with me at the very beginning. It's true. And I mean, so there's all these kids who are not making the media. They're not being put out there. And that is a luxury. I'm not playing. Thank you, Jesus, for Lori being so extra, because the story, I mean, oh my God, how can you look away? It was just like, what? What? Oh my, what? It just is. It was repulsive and just.
Thank you, Valerie. Thank you.
Oh, I'm scrolling way back in the comments. Oh, thank you, thank y'all, everybody. I still get all bashful and shy, and thank you. It does, and you being here, everybody here, this helps. This helps. Everybody being here, everybody contributing. Your opinions, your thoughts, your ideas, anything, even to debunk something, say, no, that wouldn't work. Okay, good. It's reflection. That's awesome. I know. Orrin and Orson, oh my God, I know. It's terrible. It's tragic.
Wow.
And it sucks for all those people, not just kids. It's people, men, women, babies being thrown in the dumpster. I mean, it's just real. Are you serious? And then I've watched the girl. I don't remember her name. It's weird. And I think it was in New Mexico, where they have the law. If you don't want your baby, you have 90 days. And you can just go and drop it without penalization. Did I say that right? I don't want to say anything wrong.
I remember reading about that. If you can take a kid and drop it off at the hospital and drive away and not get in trouble. And
a fire station. Yeah, I forget what it's called. It's something law. I'm sorry, I don't have it, because I would love to put that out there. And I will. I just don't remember right now. What is it called? Oh, hold on just one second. But I saw that girl just throw on whatever security camera, and she threw her baby into a dumpster, and some dumpster divers happened to run up upon him.
Right.
And thank God he was in a trash bag within a trash bag. So that was a trigger point for me. I mean, not that the baby, oh my God. I was already like, oh my God, are you serious? I was not expecting to hear that the baby was still alive. Oh my God. I cried, and it still makes me want to cry
Are you
because it's
talking about
like
Alexis Avila?
the wench had the nerve to say, well, if he's still alive, I want him.
Oh, okay.
No.
Right.
She was driving a little Jetta. I don't know. Are you serious? Are you serious? No. We're doing something wrong. A lot of things wrong. Did we just click the same thing again? Oh, Beth McGee, I just want to say that I'm so deeply sorry for your losses. Like Presha is saying, that there's that voice, and it's the Holy Ghost. I know you're chosen, and I know God hears you. And I know y'all are God's army because I just know. I was told. Wink, wink. What is a great goal of yours? Sorry. Oh my gosh.
They already have the April 20th hearing posted.
I bet they do. 420. Yeah, I did chuckle at that. I was like, oh, okay. And everybody might want to celebrate that day so we can cope. I don't know. Do whatever. Just don't murder. Okay? Eat a sandwich. But I don't know. Your opinions, your just anything that you want to contribute, it's much appreciated here. It needs to be compiled and put in, you know what I mean, structured and
Right, yeah.
done. It needs to be done. It needs to take off. And I'm part of the problem. I'm part of the problem, but I can also be part of the solution, right? So,
hey, Weird Mom's here. Hi, Weird Mom.
hey, Weird Mom. Weird Mom. I want to go to CrimeCon with Weird Mom. Bye, Mama. Love you. Well, don't be distracted. Well, do not text and drive. Are you serious, woman? I'm gonna go whip your ass. I'm lying. Y'all saw the Jedi. I've gotten that my whole life. I'm like, oh, that's that look I've been telling you about. When Lori, went into the courtroom and stuck her nose so damn high up in the air and was just gloating like she looked like a damn insane clown posse.
If I'd been in that front row, it would have took everything in me
Foot
not
out.
to accidentally stick my foot out.
Right? I think it. So just know how much resistance it took from my parents, to not and for them like to be behind Chad during the preliminary, and I'm just like, spit, whatever you got to do. So
who's Robinette Bannister?
Hmm?
Who's Robinette Bannister?
I don't know. Is that a rhetorical question? Is that a name or something? I'm way up here. I'm just passing. Thank you again, Valerie Moore. Oh my God. Legal rambling and word salad. Get to the freaking point. I don't know. I don't know if she's talking about them or us. I don't know. It's not for
That's
me.
why I asked. I'm not sure.
We all know where the click out button is. Right. That's
yeah,
that's that free will that we have.
Nobody's holding the gun to your head if you mean that toward us. If not,
I don't think so. I think they can be taken out of context. I like to give it the benefit of the doubt. And I've seen Robinette before. Yeah, she's talking about prior. See, I think. I'm sure. Nobody's too bad around here. Anyways, I've had to delete or block one person throughout this whole thing. I'm just like, okay, I don't feel like it. So I rarely do go and read through the comments now because I want to answer everybody wholeheartedly. Like if as much time as you took out to write that, I want to give that much back at least, match the effort, right? And so there's a lot and a lot of comments, but I'll figure it out one day. I'll have help one day. I will have help one day, and I'll have better tools, to work with and learn how to actually work my tools.
You're done. What you got is just fine, and what you're doing is just fine.
And right now, I'm and my family, we're living through this. This is other people's this is a lot of people's, they like true crime. It's the hot thing right now. Isn't that crazy? Not crazy, but isn't that like ironic, or, just it's irony, because there's that many people that consume it. There's that many advocates that can speak on behalf of somebody who's missing, whether anybody, I don't know. Maybe we should dedicate some block of time. Maybe that's what I should have given up or taken on for Lent.
Somebody did have a comment a little bit ago that I actually meant to click on and forgot, but they said maybe we could take 10 minutes during our lives when we have these to bring some names up.
Thank you for that, because, and I know that, I don't know. I don't think about it enough. I sit here and just tell y'all a little gossip I heard. That's what it sounds like. It's never makes any sense, really. I'm just now getting to where I can actually look at other people's cases. Before I couldn't, I just had to. I would even be like, oh my God, kid, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's not that I don't love you or care. I have to, focus on the kids and my family. And I felt so guilty for that. There will come a time, there will come a place, there will be that day when we will not be having to live through this, process it, deal with it, with the emotions that come with it, deal with the public at large. It's pretty grand and it's complete opposite to anything that we are used to. But I really feel that you can take a negative and make positive. It's when you continue with the negatives, then that's where you're like, oh, we got a problem.
Look at Sandwell.
Sandwell is funny.
Are you guys?
Oh, right. Everything in this freaking bubble, outside of the cases, just with the people surrounding the cases, everything's a portal in a portal. Everything's a cult within a cult. Everything's a whatever and a whatever. It's just layers and layers and layers. And you're just like, it's the onion never freaking gets smaller. Thank God I like onion. It makes me cry sometimes, but damn, I can't stop. So anyways, this has been a really good chat. I really do appreciate everybody for taking your time out to come and spend it with us. We value that and we appreciate that. Thank you from the bottom of our heart. And since tomorrow's hearing, I will schedule, I'm not going to say it right now because I'll probably mess it up. Tomorrow it'll be 9. No, I'm going to go ahead and say it. 9:30 Mountain Standard Time is when the case will be on, live, but we're going to come on an hour earlier. Okay. So once I post it and everything, then do your own research and find out your own time zone.
I know it'll be 11:30 Eastern for everybody. That's when it starts. So we'll be on at 10:30 Eastern.
Oh, God dang it. Wait, never mind. I don't want to confuse everybody because I'm just like, what? Oh, that's cool. I wonder why John Dictor Crime. It was interesting. They give shout outs to Presha. I guess that's my name. I'm used to it. Blame my mom all the time.
Aisha. I like that.
Tell them about channel. Tell them thank you. I don't really
You're
see them
welcome,
very much. Thank you. And Jenny, I love you too. I appreciate every one of y'all. And I see you guys everywhere, you know, because I watch everybody. I watch everything. That's just part of this. I didn't know who I could trust in the beginning, you know? And so I just was hyper PTSD. Straight up. I need not say anymore. Hyper aware. It's calming down. That's such a great feeling. It's a relief. I have my days though, you know, where it's really bad and I can't really talk very well. But the brain just goes way too fast and the mouth can't keep up, nor does it need to. Because it's exhausting in here. But I know that it's coming together. Like I've said the whole time, it's like a Polaroid picture. Basically, back in the day, they had these Kodak cameras. Anyways, I'm just joking. But a Polaroid picture, you know, you do like shake it like a Polaroid picture. Outcast, right? And so you look at it and you're like, no, I don't know what that is yet. And so then you shake it, and each time it becomes a little more and more apparent, a little more visible. You get a better understanding, a better idea. And look at what we have to work with.
All right.
Okay. And they're a bunch of freaking losers. So, okay. So from the ground up, y'all, no ceilings here. So there's that.
I just checked real quick. If anybody needs a recap, they still have the hearing up on Judge Boyce's channel.
Yeah.
If anybody needs a recap.
Or you can replay.
Or yeah, I'm sorry.
Jump to it. Well, no, I forget too. I do the same thing.
I didn't.
So it's just like being able to be here, and that way we can talk, we can chat, we can go through this together. You know?
Absolutely.
And then we reflect, and then we ask questions, and then we ask questions. You know, we got to ask questions from the questions because everything's within the something, right? Meetings on meetings, and yeah. I was like, how many times can one say motion? Don't challenge the earth is what I say. Don't challenge the universe.
I'll have some numbers ready for you tomorrow. Because I want to.
Money?
I actually threw this out on Twitter too. That if anybody was looking to try a new drinking game, get you and your buddies together and go through the Valo case and take
out all
a shot every time you hear or see the word sealed, and you'll be blasted in about 8 minutes.
Russians wouldn't be able to keep up. And I don't mean that in the hurtful. And yeah, I'm just like, yeah. And now I'm good.
All right, man. I got the dog. Got to go out. And
yeah. Well, thank you for being here with me, Eric. Thanks for. I don't think Kathy was here today, but anybody who helped, and just for everybody for being here. Y'all know.
We'll do it all again tomorrow, and we'll have adult beverages and donuts.
Right. And we'll bring some missing persons. Okay. And again, if anybody wants to come on the panel or whatever, before and maybe or after the hearing, then shoot me an email at Presha. That's KRESHA 0123 @gmail.com. And when you do that, just let me know if you want to come up. And that way I can send you a link that way. And that way I don't have to drop it in the chat because that's chaos. I'm good. There's enough of that. But anyways, thank y'all for being here. Love y'all. Don't forget to smash the like button for me, please. And share it out. And y'all come back. Love always wins. Y'all are proof of that.
Things are heating up, guys. Keep your head up. We'll see you tomorrow.
Exactly.